Hey y'all, this is A. Renee from Journal, Jot, and Jive. If this is your first time stopping by the channel, welcome to the channel. If you are a returning subscriber, hey there. Alright, so by the title, this should still be my debt confession. And then it'll probably say something like, it's time to make some adjustments. So in today's video, I am going to go in and plug in things that I spent. We're going to briefly, yeah, that sounds like it'd be briefly talk about some changes that I'm going to make. I'll probably do a brain dump because, as I've told y'all before, I have not been journaling, and that is just not like me, and I got to get back to it. But I do think I'm going to journal about this weekend. Yeah, it was a long weekend. Man, these quarters, baby, these quarters gonna help me pay for some gas in a minute. Anyway, this weekend was long. My son had a game. He ended up dislocating his finger. Before I even got to the game, I guess the Lord knew, like, this crazy woman don't need to be here. Anyway, he is okay. I had to wake up the next morning, take him to urgent care to get it scanned, and now we have to go to an orthopedic at some point this week, so he'll probably be out for a week. So there's that. I'll put my little dramatic picture I took. You know, it's senior year, so I am recording everything, every single thing. And yesterday I went to the MEAC SWAC Challenge, Child Field SWAC School. Don't put none in my comments. I don't put none in my comments. My school was complete trash. I don't know. They need to play another quarterback. If you don't know me, I love football. And that display yesterday was complete trash. But I did get to go in the suite, so I didn't have to stay outside in the heat. It was so hot. Oh my God, it was hot. Another thing with that, took some pictures with my line sisters. Saw my picture. I love the pictures with my line sisters because it's a memory, but I am not happy with how I look. So that put me in a funk today. So yeah, and then I went back to sleep. Yeah, I had a whole lot going on, but all I know is I gotta work out because I'm not going to homecoming looking like I look right now. Yeah, so that put me in a crazy mood. Pause for cause. I need to drink some water. Oh, I can't stand the bottles that sound like crackle pop. But anyway, so yeah, that put me in a kind of mood. And you know, but because I've been going to McDonald's all these times, I should know that, yeah, girl, you're gonna look like that a little bit. But did get on the scale, and I am going down weight wise. But again, that picture threw me for a loop. All right, so we're gonna go in here. We're gonna plug in money that I spent. I also want to talk to y'all about how you can save money here and there. It might not seem like a lot, but over a year you would have saved, you know, a couple of $100s. So depending on who you bank with, a lot of your banks have how you can get, you know, 10% back, 2% of this purchase here or there. I always go in mine and find like the gas stations, because I have a couple of gas stations I prefer to go to. So my bank has two of them. They have the Kroger fuel and they have Chevron fuel. So I made sure to go to activate those. And anytime you use your card to pay, over time you'll get some coins back. So, you know, 10 cents here, $1 here. But a lot of them have a max. Like you might only be able to get $3.50 back. But if you do that over 10 months, that's $30.50 back. Money adds up, but think if you had a whole bunch of different places, it adds up. You can also get money back on like memberships, depending on what you have. So check into your banks for that. PayPal also does it as well. So I thought I would share that tip with you. And then I'm trying to think, is there anything else before I get started? Because y'all know I'm going to speed this up. If you are new and you're trying to figure out, well, what is your method of tracking your expenses, I have a color code on the side. So green is for income, yellow is for Journal, Jot, and Jive, which this video is a part of Journal, Jot, and Jive. Oh, and speaking of which, I did not get any money from YouTube. You have to hit a threshold. So I did not hit my threshold this month, but every month I'm still going to put that category there to see how long it takes me to get there. So we ain't get that. So we're going to put an X right here. And then we're going to put $0.00. All right. Let me see, what else did I want to tell y'all? Oh, I was explaining. Okay. That pen, I'm going to have to throw that pen out. All right, so remember we said $0.00. Okay, so to break it down on how I code visually for this, I have a color coding system. That might not work for you. For some of y'all, you might just need to write it and keep it moving. That's cool. But because I have different levels of income, it needs to reflect on here. All right, so H bar is here by A. Renee. That's when I go to clients' homes, and eventually I'll be in the salon once out of the month, and that will be in blue. So you will see that blue kind of throughout here when I go. Oh, I did go. Didn't I go? What day did I go to her house? I did. Okay, so I need to write it in here. Anywho, you'll see that when I speed it up. Then you have home and personal. So I'll put my W-2 job in gray. So you'll see that pop up later this week. And then leisure, so kind of like this weekend when I went to the game, or if I purchased something for that game, that's going to be on here. And then debt is in like this orange red color because I don't have a true red, but that's debt. And then I started adding in fuel and maintenance. All right, because I want to see how much I'm spending in fuel per week for a couple of reasons. My son is playing football, and at least 5 of his games are far. Like this past weekend's game was an hour. It was an hour and some change away. The game the week before was an hour and some change away. So that kind of changes how much I have to put gas in the car. And then I also traveled to the game for my college this week, but that's downtown. But either way it goes, it's still gas money. So I'm gonna plug in how many times I had to get gas or the difference in the price, and at the end of this month I'm gonna calculate because I need to create a budget for September. So this is giving me a true visual of what I've been spending and how I've been spending and what I need to cut back on. So yes, y'all are gonna see that McDonald's pop up on here, and I also need to figure out how much to budget in on Friday or Thursday nights when he has a game, because I typically go and pick him up something to eat. So I definitely need to create a budget line item for that. Let's see, is there anything else? And then you'll see like little notes, things that I need to do, and we did complete some of that. So I followed up with the tax return, and then he needs to resume driving lessons, but that's gonna have to move over to next month. So what I'll do for that is put an arrow, but I do want the arrow in a different color, so I'm looking for like a blue. And then what I'll do is put a line with the arrow, and that indicates we're going to shift that over to next month. Update 0, I have not done that. And then I also need to take a defensive driver's class to lower my premium for my car insurance, because my car insurance jumped up $30+. It's just ghetto in these streets in Atlanta. Can y'all stop moving here? Because we don't want y'all here. Okay, we like when y'all visit. It's fun. Y'all can go put money into the metro Atlanta area, but we need y'all to go back home, okay? Because y'all are raising prices because y'all coming here, y'all can't drive. And speaking of not driving, y'all, yesterday I was at, where was I? Going to the game. We were headed to the game. No, we were headed to eat because we went to eat first. And we were headed to the game. Y'all, this fool got in a car accident with this lady. Backed his car on up and sped. Now, he didn't speed off, y'all. He crawled off around the corner because he said, not today. I guess he said, I ain't going to jail. Ooh, that's another quarter. So, yeah, that was just a hot mess. I said, did this man really? It was like, boom. And he just backed up, and then the lady pulled off to the side, and I was like, oh, sis, she probably was regrouping. But I was like, you ain't get nothing back from that. All right, so you see these items right here. I'm going to go ahead and check these off because I pulled up. Y'all, when y'all hear me say cuz, that means because. But this Georgia girl is not going to go out and say the whole word. All right, so I will go back and look at my account to see if it had already been pulled out, and it has. So that was pulled out, and then I need to go in and write like, no, Netflix was pulled out. And remember I told you I need to get the Netflix card. and put like a certain amount on there and just apply it to my account so I don't see those items. But you'll see that when I brain dump some of the things that I want to do differently for next month. All right, I done talked to y'all enough, and I want to go ahead and fill this in. So I'll come back. I don't know if I have any more stories for y'all from the weekend or what's been going on. If I do, we'll do that in the recap at the end. All right, so let's go ahead. Oh, I really talked to y'all for 10 minutes. I hope y'all stayed this long, but I'll put in there if you want to skip past the talking part. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright y'all, so I'm back. As always, it takes longer than I would like, but y'all don't know because it's always sped up. But the last page that we're on right now is moving into September, a financial brain dump, and then a couple of journal prompts at the end. So if you watched on the screen, you saw me go back in the back on my journal tracker, and you notice that I have not journaled a lot. Once I started the new job, it's just been an adjustment period, and I haven't been journaling, but I do need to. So these are a couple of journal prompts that are directed to the financial part of my life. So one is, what financial concerns are present moving into September? I think I mentioned this in one of the videos. My virtual assistant client that I had, we are discontinuing working together. Things have changed. Nothing against our working relationship, but you know, finance is finance. All right, so that's cut out. So I'll be losing an additional $412.50 per month, and I need to write about that. Also, we talked about the major cut that I have financially, so this will be a super tight budget, even though it was funky before, because like I mentioned, being self-employed, numbers sound good, but what are things that have to be deducted each month? So there's that. And then write 3 goals for September. So I'll write what those 3 goals are. So what I'll do with these blank pages that I did not use, I'll use those as note pages, just things that I need to write down. So they won't necessarily be journal entries, but I'll have space to write if I'm calling a creditor or things like that. So that is how I'll use those blank pages. And then moving forward, I would like to get back into my journal moments because they're very vital for my overall mental health. All right, so that's that. And then we'll go back to the front where I plugged in some more things for this month. So you see it's filling in. It's very colorful. Like I said to many of you all, if you really want to see a depiction of where your money is going and how you're spending it, write it down. Yes, you can log in on all the beautiful apps digitally, which I do like, but I would also recommend that you go in here. And if you do want to do digitally and you would like to see a colorful representation, you can also do this on Google Calendar. So I am going to organize my Google Calendar, and I will show that in a particular video, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do it first, and then I will share a screen and go over it versus doing a whole video, putting that in. That's going to be a whole lot that I want to do. So that's how I'll show that in another video. All right, so this is your video for the day. This is where I am. We are wrapping up the month of August, so going into September, I will be able to officially start a budget because I have more of a snapshot that I did not have before, and I'll actually know my true semi-monthly payments or paycheck when I get paid, and I'll have a true picture of what I'm working with. Because remember, before they had to go back and retro pay, so it looked like I had something that I do not have going forward. All right, so question of the day. I don't know, what is my question of the day for y'all? Just tell me how you doing, or tell me some kind of video you want to see, or yeah, let's just do that. What's something else you would like to see from the debt confession corner, because that's what we're kind of working on right now. We'll eventually get back into some of the other things, but right now I got to get my life, and y'all are just on the journey with me. All right, so thanks for staying this far if you did. And if you did and you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, so every time I post you are in the know. If you are already a subscriber, make sure you hit that like, thumbs up, and all of that great stuff. All right, I'll catch you on the next one.